My body image issues probably started when I was like 10. I would compare myself to the girls at school or like girls that I would see on TV. And then the comments that you hear from people who literally maybe don't do this like in a harmful way, but by like calling me like certain things like fat or saying, oh my gosh, you're picking up weight, like yada yada. Well, those types of things subconsciously affected me. And, it seems very harmless, like to an adult, but as a young person, still evolving, still becoming comfortable in their body, it's going to affect you. So then what happens is you start trying to like avoid being told about your body and your weight, which makes you now associate food with something that is going to make you fat. And you start like developing a really bad relationship with food at a young age. And even though like my weight has fluctuated over the years of like me growing up, I was usually more on like the chubbier side. And honestly, I felt so ugly and insecure. And like, I'm trying to make this a lighthearted moment, but trust me, in the moment, I did not feel good about myself at all. Okay. Like, even when I look back at photos, I'm like, Kelly, like, how did you not know that you look so unhealthy? But hey, I think that's just like part of growing up. Eventually, I got over it and I lost the weight. So I think I lost the weight either because I was growing up. The next thing was I went vegetarian for like 4 years, and it wasn't because of anything like superficial or anything to do with like my appearance. I like just watched some really messed up videos with animals, and it like really upset me and like put me off meat completely. So I think that really helped me lose the weight and like slim down a bit and become more healthier and actually be more aware of like what I was putting into my body, because I wasn't treating my body that great. So when I went vegetarian, I had to obviously do a lot of research about it, and I ended up like learning a lot, okay, and becoming really, really into health and wellness, like really into it. And I still am very much into like wellness and all of that type of stuff, because it is important to take care of your body and to feel good so that you can like operate at your peak level every day as much as you can. And, I became more health conscious, but also less strict on myself for like what I was eating. And I didn't feel so insecure about my body anymore. But then you have social media now. Oh gosh. Okay. Now you have like the overexposure of like infinite images and videos of women with like this stereotypical face and body. And it can be very detrimental to like your mental health. Like, let's be honest. I feel like, thank goodness I didn't grow up like during the time of social media, because it probably would have sent me like over the edge, especially during that time when I was very insecure about my body. Like, I probably would be so insecure, or maybe I wouldn't, because like usually I get in my head about stuff and then I sort of like stop caring after a while. So like, who knows? But anyways, imagine seeing stereotypical beautiful people on a daily basis and just being like overexposed to all of that. And then you're like dating someone and like you can see what they're liking. Like that would honestly send me over the edge and make me like super insecure. But, as someone now who is on the internet, and of course it's daunting, and of course sometimes like I need a break from social media. Like, I took a break off TikTok. It's been like a few months now, I think like over 4 or 5 months. I completely just like logged out of my own account, and I just don't associate myself with TikTok at the moment, like for myself. But that definitely helped me. Okay. But just being like overexposed to things that I see on social media has like manifested in different ways in my life. And I usually find that they manifest in unhealthy ways. So that is why I wanted to chat about how I deal with body image issues. And like, I'm not perfect. Like, I definitely don't know everything. I still have my moments of being insecure, but I've come a long way, guys, from like that little girl who was very insecure and didn't feel beautiful and worthy. So hopefully my advice helps you in some way. So how do you maintain a positive perspective towards body image and how to overcome feeling insecure about yourself? My first piece of advice is get off social media as much as possible. I always give this advice even to myself, and I feel like it's something that's like said so many times, but I'm not saying like pick up your phone right now and like delete the app and just go cold turkey. Almost all of us will just like go back to using social media. It's a very difficult thing to like just not do social media, especially if you have a business and you have a brand that you're like trying to promote, or you even work in social media. So there is a healthy and unhealthy balance. Most of us have an unhealthy balance where we are on social media way too much, where we believe that social media is real when in fact it's not, but we still continue to like consume content we see online as real life, even though we are aware that it's not reality most of the time. It's like a small glimpse into someone's life. Like if you see your friend vacationing in Europe, it doesn't impact your life unless you obviously care and find it interesting. But like we end up looking at someone's life, okay, and what they're doing. And we subconsciously consume that information and end up comparing our own lives and then just proceeding to making ourselves feel terrible about where we are currently at in our own life. So if you are struggling with body issues, I would really suggest going on a social media cleanse for like a week, a month, or even like 6 months. That's like totally up to you. But I feel like the first step to getting your life in order and making sure that you feel better about yourself is by getting back into the real world in the present moment, not consuming all of this unreal stuff that you see on the internet. When I'm on social media all the time, I feel like my body image, or not just that, but like my whole outlook on life drastically changes. It's not good to be looking at people who, in my opinion, look 50 times better than you and then compare your appearance to that. Like, I feel like when you are in a good place mentally, you for sure can look at things on social media and just like appreciate them for what it is. And I've been there where you're able to just like consume content and you're able to like just appreciate and be like, oh my God, like that's so cool. Like, yay. Instead of like putting yourself down for what you're seeing. And that is possible for some people. But if you are in a particular bad place with your own body image, you won't be able to just not compare yourself. Like, be honest with yourself and know when it's time for like a break. Like, most of the time, you are probably comparing yourself to others and also comparing yourself to something that is potentially not even real. I mean, we already all know this, okay? We cannot deny how social media subconsciously damages our body image and the way we view ourselves in our lives. The next thing I would suggest is trying to convince yourself that your value as a human being has nothing to do with your physical body. And yes, I know it can sound unrealistic because society does reward you if you look a certain way. There is definitely praise that comes with looking a certain way. But at the end of the day, none of that actually matters if you aren't a good person. I know you probably think, okay, that is such a loser mindset of someone who isn't that hot and will probably be alone forever. So like, stop trying to make yourself feel better. But let's be honest, guys, with ourselves here, okay? The type of person you are will always shine through in the end. And if you think about it, looks and appearance is usually more praised online. However, in person, personality will always be the winning factor, like 95% of the time. I mean, I know for myself, I've thought a specific guy was like so hot, but then you get to know him and him as a person sucks. And then you get someone who is maybe average, like in the eyes of society, but is funny, charismatic, a good human, and that shines through for sure. So I know it's hard, but focus on having a good heart and being a good person over trying to, meet these unrealistic standards the internet pushes onto us. Also, if you're dating a guy who still likes other girls' bikini photos online, honestly, dump him, okay? These types of guys are losers, okay? I'm just saying. Having a good impact on the world and like being a good human is where your value is. If you can teach yourself over time that your value lies within, you can actually set yourself free and you can release all of that pressure. Your worth is elsewhere. And once you stop attaching your worth only to your appearance and you stop being obsessed over it, you can actually slowly start developing a more positive perspective towards your body image. Taking care of yourself physically, I think, is so important, and not just chasing like a stereotypical perfect body, but really doing it to feel good for yourself mentally too. I consider myself a tomboy. Like, I played sports in school and I loved it. I wasn't like the best, but I still played sport. And now as an adult, I go to the gym or I do yoga. And if I'm being honest, sometimes I'm really not keen to go and work out. And there were times in life when I didn't stay consistent with working out, but now I'm honestly obsessed with how I feel afterwards and the place it put me in mentally, where I feel like I accomplished something for myself. My mindset feels stronger, I feel more confident, and I start seeing the many ways that I can actually push myself to do better and to do more. And working out, in my opinion, is like such a personal thing. Everyone has their own goal. However, if you are someone that struggles with body image issues, I would recommend going to the gym, taking it slow, figuring out like what kind of workout suits your vibe, and engage in things that boost your mood and balance your energy on a daily basis and that make you feel good. I feel like the reason why I actually started enjoying working out a lot was because of how I started feeling afterwards. And you kind of feel like you're doing something for yourself, which feels really good too. And I also find that it makes me feel less anxious and more confident in myself. And then I also found workouts that I enjoy doing. Like, everyone is suggesting all of these types of things. And I know I enjoy cardio, I enjoy yoga, Pilates. I like just going at my own pace and doing things that I know that I want to do and that make me feel good and comfortable. So I feel like once you figure that out for yourself and kind of figure out like what suits your vibe and your groove and all of that type of stuff, you will want to be more consistent when it comes to working out, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, and just feeling your best. And this could be Pilates, like cardio for 40 minutes, going for a walk, meditation, journaling, or reading. All of these things are good for you. Find things that make you feel good and then add them into your daily routine. Like, it's almost 2025, guys. Like, let's start normalizing, prioritizing ourselves, and taking care of ourselves. The only reason why I've maintained consistency when it comes to exercising is because I know how terrible I feel mentally and physically if I don't honor my body by taking care of it. And I know the good feeling I feel after a workout, and that drives me to continue. And I know I'm probably sounding like so annoying and like I'm like preaching and all of that type of stuff, but trust me, there's days when I don't want to do anything, okay? But I know if I don't go work out, I'm going to feel terrible about myself and my mental health is literally going to go downhill. So sometimes we have to make some sacrifices and force ourselves out of our comfort zones in order to actually feel good, okay? And like change our habits and do things that make us feel uncomfortable, because that is how we grow. I definitely feel like associating certain new habits with something positive helps you to stick to it so much better. So I associate working out with feeling good, confidence, mental strength, and like accomplishment. And that pushes me to remain consistent. I'm in a place now where I feel way more confident in how I look. Like, if I could tell myself back then, don't worry, be patient, focus on yourself, and don't be so hard on yourself, things will be fine. Like, I would not believe you, okay? But I feel way more confident in how I look now. But it took some time. And maybe I don't have that like stereotypical perfect body that is so desirable and praised and all of that type of stuff, okay? But hey, I love my own body for what it is. and I feel confident and I feel sexy in that. And that's what matters. And people who don't appreciate you for who you are aren't the people you want anyway. And sometimes you need to remind those people that they aren't Justin Bieber, okay? So like, who are they to judge? So thank you guys so much for watching. I love making these videos. I love hanging out with you every week, okay? So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. New videos every Monday and Wednesday. I love you. Keep shining, follow your dreams, and all of that good stuff, okay?